Hey everyone, today we are going to dive into how you can create a Power BI report in just 10 minutes. In today's world, organizations collect massive amount of data, but the real challenge is understanding what the data is telling us and making informed decisions. That's where Power BI comes in, helping you uncover insights and tell the story behind the numbers. Let's get started. So our first step will be how to import the data. Second, we'll see how to build a data model using the data we have imported into the Power BI. Third, we'll see how we can filter the data using the visualizations. And our last step will be we'll see how we can share the reports with our fellow colleagues or classmates using Power BI. Let's see how we can get the Power BI in our system. To install Power BI in your system, you can open up the Microsoft Store and search Power BI. Upon searching Power BI, you'll see two softwares to download. First is Power BI Desktop, and the second is Power BI Report Builder. Power BI Desktop gives you the full functionality on data modeling, data editing, data visualization, etc. Second is Power BI Report Builder. Power BI Report Builder has some functionality of Power BI Desktop, but it's not feature rich. So in this video, we are going to use Power BI Desktop. You can go ahead and install this Power BI Desktop. If it's already installed, it will ask you to open the desktop. Once you open Power BI, it will land you on an empty report page. Here, you can build all your visualizations. The second tab on the left, we have Table View. Here, you can see all of your data that you have loaded into the Power BI. And the third, we have Model View, where you can build relationships between your data tables. Now let's start with uploading your data. On the top, in the Home tab, you'll see a bunch of sources to import your data into the Power BI. If you click on Get Data, you'll see a bunch more of sources and click More. You'll see all the sources that you can use to import the dataset. For me, I'll be using my Excel workbook to import the data. You can simply click on Excel workbook and click on the data that you want to import. Once you click on that data, it will show you the tables that you have in the Excel workbook. Just select the table that you want to import and it will give you the preview of the data that to make sure that this is the right table. Here I have customer details which has customer name, email address, phone number and country. In the second table, I have customer orders in which I have order ID, customer ID, order date, product, quantity and revenue. At the bottom, you'll get two options to load the data directly as it is or to transform the data. You can use the transform data to make changes in your data. For example, in some cases, the data has some null values, or you want to clean your data, or you want to change the type of your columns. You can use transform tab. I'm happy with my data, so I'll go ahead and load the data as it is. As you click on load, it will start loading the data. Now that the data is loaded, you'll see on the right side of the data tab, you'll see two columns that you have loaded. If you'll expand the first table, you'll see all the columns that were there in the data in the Excel sheet. Similarly, in the second table as well, it has all the columns that was there in the Excel workbook. If you go to the table view, you can select the table and can go through the data. Here I can see the overview or all the data that I have in my tables. In the model view, I can see that Power BI has already detected a relationship between my customer orders and customer details. If I hover over on the relationship, it will show me what kind of relationship it is. You can click on that relationship and it will show you in the properties that it's many to one relationship. So each customer, that means each customer has ordered many orders. So if you want to retrieve the customer data using these orders, this relationship will help us get that. In any case, if the Power BI didn't get the relationship of your tables, you can simply select the column and drag it on top of another table column and it will build the relationship. You can select the column name, the table name, and select the type of relationship that you want to build. In my case, there's already a relationship between these two columns. Now, when I was showing you the data, I noticed that I have US and United States in my data, which means the same. And also in my other table, there's a column called revenue 1, which I don't need for my visualizations. So I can go ahead and transform the data after importing the data as well. For that, we need to go to the Home tab and click on Transform Data. Now, after clicking on the Transform Data, it will open a Power Query editor where you can edit your data, clean your data, or do a bunch of things with the data. For example, here are all the functions that are available, like choose column, remove column, keep rows, remove rows, split column, group by, etc. You can add columns as well. For me, I'll just click on the column, right click, and then replace values. Now that this is okay, I'll go to another table, click on revenue 1 and remove column. As you can see, it added the step. Whenever you load a new data in the same file, it will go through the same steps. Power Query follows the M language, so every time a step is added, you can see the code in the M language over here in the Power Advanced editor. So this is the step that we did just now. Now I'll go ahead, close and apply. Please note that this will not change the original source of the data. Think of it as a middle layer between the source and the dashboards. Now the revenue 1 is gone and it's US here. For more visuals, you can click on Get More Visuals and then select the visual that you want, and then you can download that visual to Power BI. For now, I want to see how many products are sold over time. For that, I think the line chart will be a best fit. So I'll simply click on the line chart and it will drop an empty line chart for me. I can drag and resize the chart, or I can select the chart and move it around the page. So let's resize the chart first. Now I can use these columns to import data into this line chart. For example, I want to show the quantity of products sold over time. You can select the column and drag it on the field. Now that if I'll hover over here, I can see the sum of products that's been sold over time. Now I also want the time variable here. I can simply select the order date and drag it to y-axis. You see, we got the line chart. Now that this line chart doesn't make any sense or it's too messy, you have this drill up option you can click, and then it will give you the trend over month. The Power BI automatically creates a hierarchy of date by year, quarter, month, and day. You can click the drill up option again, and it'll tell you, and it will show you the line chart over the quarter. And then if you drill more, it will show you over the year. If you hover over the points, it will show you the actual reading. So in 2023, the quantity was 144, and by 2024, the quantity was 126. To go back to a previous view, you can simply click on expand all down levels, and it'll take you through all the levels one by one. Now let's see what Power BI does if we click on any other column without selecting any visual. For example, if I click on revenue, it gave me a bar chart. So Power BI makes a best guess what chart can be useful for that particular column. For example, you don't want the bar chart and you want a data card. So you can simply click on any visual. After selecting the bar chart, you can select any visual that you want and it will change to that visual. For example, 304K of revenue. For now, it's showing the sum of the revenue. If you click on this arrow button here, you'll see a bunch of options that you can do. You can either select the minimum, average, maximum, or count. So for example, I want to get an average idea that what was the average revenue. I'll simply click on that and it will calculate the average for me. Now let's click on a field from another table. As I clicked on customer name, it kind of made a best guess that the customer name can be useful for a table. So it made a table for me. If you'll click on any field over here, for example, Charlie Davis, it will filter the records based on Charlie to show that how much revenue did Charlie made and what was the trend, how the quantity of products that Charlie purchased over time. You can also make some changes to the graphs. For example, I don't like this title, so I can go to the format your visual and then you'll see a bunch of options in the visual pane. For example, I want the lines color to be black, or I want the title, I don't want sum of in my title, and we'll change the title. We can change the orientation, anything. Now it's time to share the dashboard. Click on publish. Once you publish the dashboard, you can use this link to open the dashboard. It will redirect you to the dashboard in your workspace that you have published in. And voila, here is our dashboard. You can click on file and download this file and share this file with other colleagues. Or you can embed the report on a SharePoint site, website portal, or publish to web. You can also generate a QR code for this dashboard. Upon scanning the QR code, it will direct the customers to this dashboard. Or you can use this export function to export in Excel, PowerPoint, or PDF. Cool thing about publishing the dashboard in Power BI service is that you can use this share option to share the dashboard with other people using the email address, and they can access this dashboard in the workspace. You can also copy the link of this dashboard and send it to them. We have a bunch of options here. It can We can allow recipients to share this report with other people, or we can allow recipients to build content on the data associated with this report, which is pretty cool. All right then. This was the high level overview of Power BI dashboard, that how can you use Power BI to build a report and tell a story. I'll be creating more in-depth videos on Power BI concepts. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel.